the United States of India, America and India. These ties have not only fostered global collaboration, but have also facilitated the exchange of knowledge, ideas, and best practices. The US and India have a rich history of working together, and we'll see it when we do our international conference in the month of February every year. Year after year, we have seen some of the leading institutions of the United States coming and collaborating with Amity University, and we've hosted, rich delegations from United States and have sent the maximum number of students, which you'll see in Admiral Bhatnagar's presentation from now, to the United States. At Amity, we take great pride in our commitment towards education and innovation. Our institution has primarily played an important role in the implementation of the new education policy. And with this intent, we once again extend a very warm welcome to you and thank you for sparing your time to visit us. And we look forward to fruitful collaborations. With this, I invite Admiral Bhatnagar, sir, to give you an overview of Amity Education Group and also his welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. So on behalf of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, our Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, our Group Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gurinder Singh, who's not here, he's traveling to Tashkent. I extend a very warm welcome to our delegation from Pace University, Dr. Jonathan Hill, Dr. Andre Cordon, I think he's not here, Dr. Melitidis, and Dr. Sonia Sachdev. So we were expecting all of you, but all those who are here, most welcome. So I'll give you a small overview of the Amity Education Group and what we are all about in the next 20 minutes or so. So Amity was founded by Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, who after spending about 3 decades in Germany, he came back to India and started this education group with the aim to provide world-class education to Indian as well as students from abroad. So this slide tells you in a nutshell what Amity is all about. So we are we have over 200,000 students, about 6,000 faculty, plus equal number is adjunct faculty, 11 universities in India, and if you are aware, I don't know whether you are aware or not, in India, if you want to open a university, you have to pass an act in the parliament. So we have done that 11 times, and we've got now campuses in Noida, Gurgaon, Greater Noida, Lucknow, Jaipur, Mumbai, Gwalior, Kolkata, Raipur, Ranchi, Patna, Mohali, and Bengaluru. And we will see the photographs of these campuses in a bit. We also have 150 institutions in almost every facet of education. So these are spread all over the country. Then we have overseas campuses in London, Singapore, New York, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Mauritius, South Africa, Kenya, Amsterdam, San Francisco, and the newest one in Tashkent. We also have our own schools and preschools, 28 of them. We have 2,000 acres of campuses, 20 million square feet of buildings, 400 programs covering 60 disciplines. So every program that is available in India, every degree that can be given in India is available in Amity except medicine, and we are working on that. We also have 2015 as of now patents that have been filed by the faculty, and about 250 of them have been granted. We've got 4,000 case studies developed by the faculty, 400 research projects funded by the government, and 700,000 alumni in India and across the globe. The Amity philosophy, education philosophy, is where modernity blends with tradition. So that's our the goal of our founder president, that we give them Indian traditions and blend it with scientific fervor, scientific education, and the latest that is there available in the world. So we also, as I mentioned, we have got preschools and schools as well. And we are very proud to mention here that our K-12 schools are one of the best in the country. And if you are aware, the Central Board of Secondary Education, which is the largest education board, giving from where almost 100,000 students graduate every year, the first, second, and third positions in 10th grade, and the first, second, and third positions in the 12th grade, all 6 went to Amity last year. So that's no mean feat. It is very difficult, and we have all studied in India. We know how difficult it is to get anywhere close to the first 1,000 ranks in CBSE. We have bagged the first 3 in both categories. So we then do undergrad programs, which is in the university, postgrad programs, PhDs, postdoctorals, and the cycle of education continues. So the entire spectrum of education is covered by Amity. This slide, I'm sorry for the small font and the busy slide, but this gives a glimpse of accreditations and recognitions that Amity has. So every recognition and accreditation that is possible to get for an education institution in India is available with Amity. But what I like to highlight here is the accreditation that we have from the QAA of the UK, for which we are accredited right through to 2028. We recently got a 5-year accreditation, re-accreditation. And also the Western American Schools and Colleges accreditation, which we are accredited right up to 2031. We recently got 8 years accreditation, re-accreditation from WASC. So this helps us in seamlessly transferring our credits to universities in the US as well as in the UK, and therefore to some other countries as well. We are ranked almost amongst the first 3% universities globally as per QS ranking and Times Higher Education ranking system. We are very proud that internationally we are ranked number 1 in India, and ranked number 1 by a great margin. As you can see, the next university in the NCR is Jamia Millia Islamia, which is bagged 4.4 points, and we have 21.8 points. So there is a large difference there. We are also ranked number 3 in the country in International Research Network. Amity also produces the most employable graduates in the country. And if you see at the bottom of the slide, you see 6 names. The first 5 are government institutions. That's Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. And right beside them is Amity. And we produce the most employable graduates. Why? I'll get back in a bit. We also ranked number 1 not-for-profit private university for 11 years in a row by India Today, a very reputed publication in India. Not only that, this is the overall ranking, but in almost all departments and institutes that we have, the rankings are either either number 1 or somewhere on the top. Our campus in Dubai was conferred the Best Campus Award in 2019 by Forbes Middle East, and this photograph that you see is that of our Chancellor, Dr. Atul K. Chauhan. We also focus on sustainable campuses, and many of our campuses have been certified by the US Green Building Council, and we have the platinum grading by LEEDS, which is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. This is the highest rating that you can get. Now, I mentioned about the campuses that we have. So this is the campus where you're sitting right now. It's an 85-acre property, and is the flagship campus with over 38,000 students on campus. This is a campus in Greater Noida, about 15 kilometers the crow flies to the southeast. This is a campus in Lucknow. We call this our White House. This is a campus in Jaipur, a 150-acre property with its own lake. This is a property, another one in the NCR region in Gurugram, Manesar, which is a 110-acre property. This is a campus in Mumbai, 30-acre campus. This is in Gwalior, 100-acre campus. Then we have campuses in Kolkata, Raipur, Jharkhand, Patna, Mohali, which is close to Chandigarh. This is our latest campus in Bengaluru, started business this fall. It's a 60-acre high-tech, state-of-the-art building, which has started enrollment this year. And these are our foreign campuses, as I mentioned. So the first one, the photograph that you see is Amity, Singapore, which we acquired from Chicago Business School. It's also, incidentally, a heritage building in Singapore. Then we have Amity, Mauritius, which attracts a lot of students from the continent of Africa. Then we have Amity, New York, as was mentioned earlier. It's a 172-acre property, which we acquired from St. John's University. It has its own beach and is located in Oakdale, Long Island. Then you have Amity, Nairobi, Amity, Tashkent. This is our latest university in abroad. On the request of the government of Uzbekistan, we have created this university there. And as of now, our group vice chancellor, Dr. Gurinder Singh, is in Tashkent for an international conference. Amity, London, which was our first university abroad. It's in Bedford Square, right next to British Museum. Our students are going there this month on 14th of November. We make good use of this property there. Then we have got Amity, Dubai, as you saw earlier. We also have a number of schools abroad in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, in Amsterdam. Amsterdam, again, we were invited by the government to open this school there. Some more schools in Dubai, Sharjah, South Africa, as well as in Singapore. So these are the two campuses that we have in US, the campus in New York and in San Francisco, which is being run by a Presidio Graduate School for Business for State Sustainable Development. We are also very proud to let you know that Amity is the first and the only education group which has been able to get Harrow, which is one of the most reputed schools in United Kingdom, a 450-year-old legacy of the schools located in Greater London. We have got this school to Bengaluru in India, and it has started admissions this year. We're also getting this school to US in our Long Island campus. So Amity and US have a very close relationship, as was being mentioned by Mr. Marut. We have one of the highest number of Indian students that go from Amity to the US. Amity has got a number of research linkages with US universities. And US former ambassador to India, His Excellency Mr. Kenneth Jester, has participated in our international conference, which we were mentioning earlier, the InBush International Business Horizons. Presidents of US universities have spoken during international conferences like the InBush and others. We also have participation of eminent Indian Americans during the NRI Symposium and participation of presidents of various US universities during webinar series. So as you can see, we have very close and multifaceted, multi-layered interaction with universities in the US. So this is a photograph of His Excellency Mr. Kenneth Jester when he visited us during InBush Summit. These are our students in Berkeley. We run programs with Berkeley as well. And also with Babson Build Certificate Program. Now, the new education policy, you may be aware, India has published its national education policy in 2020. This is a paradigm shift in education system in India. right from kindergarten to postgraduate to PhD. It's focused on liberal education. It is focused on giving multiple choices to students for degrees that they can obtain through dual degree process, joint degrees, simultaneous degrees, online degrees, all kinds of permutation combinations available to students. This education policy also has a large focus on internationalization. And it is the belief of our Prime Minister that we need to do internationalization at home. And to that end, he is encouraging foreign universities to come and open campuses in India. You will be glad to know that 2 universities from Australia have already decided to open campuses in Gift City, Gujarat. And we are waiting for other universities to pitch a bid. Here we also encourage you to think about having campus in campus. Of course, we'll come to those details in our discussions as well. If you don't want to invest so much in infrastructure, no capital investment, but we can do campus in campus, which we have done with some other universities in the world. So I was mentioning about the education policy, which offers joint training programs, dual degrees, and other combinations of the same. This bringing US universities to India to have their joint campuses with Amity, as I mentioned, campus in campus, on a reciprocal basis, we can think about it. Also integrating technology in building long-term, profitable and sustainable partnerships through e-learning and branded programs. Also offering meaningful internships and exposures to US students through India Immersion Program and US AID, etc. So we have a very powerful and popular program called the India Immersion Program. We will talk about it in a bit. Also building research, training, and consulting partnerships with short duration joint programs and certifications. So this is another thing that we can look at. Also building consortium of US and Indian universities to accept credits of each other and offer joint and dual degree certifications. So these are some of the things that we thought we could do, and also some specific ones with PACE, that is exploring possibility of short-term mobility of students, and we would highly encourage short-term mobility both ways. And here I would like to mention that this is the most opportune time for students to come and study in India. I am not sure whether you are aware or not, but if you are following the numbers and the growth story of India, India is undergoing the most unprecedented transformation and development in the history of the free world. And I can back it up with data for the next 1 hour, but I will not do that. I will only give you 1 or 2 examples, and that is about digitization, which is the backbone of our development. Digitize India was launched in 2014, not many years ago. At that point in time, our per capita data usage we were ranked 122nd in the world. Today, there are no prizes for guessing that we are number 1. And number 1 by a margin that will surprise you. The per capita data usage in India is more than that of China and US put together. We do the maximum number of financial transactions in the world, 41%. 48 billion transactions were done last year. China was number 2. They did 18 billion. So you see the difference. Whether you look at foreign direct investment, which is an indicator of what is the kind of faith that the world has on India's political system, economy, which is growing at near 7% annually, whether it is the social fabric, pharmacy, healthcare, infrastructure, everything is growing at a pace that is unprecedented in the history of the free world. So this is why you have multinationals coming in and setting shop here. This is why it is important to get a stamp of having spent time in India and being part of the winning team. So I would seriously urge you to encourage your students to come for, if nothing, short duration programs in India like the India Immersion Program. And if they come here, they will realize the potential of this country and what they can do with their lives once they have had this opportunity. So we can also do faculty exchange. Moving on to monthly lecture series by your faculty. It can be both ways. Then India Immersion Program, as I mentioned, joint supervision of PhDs. We have a system of having a co-guide. So there is a guide and a co-guide, which is not a UGC requirement, but we encourage that. So that could be an opening for getting guides from PACE for our students here. Also participation of PACE in InBush 2024, which will happen in February. So, and we will be sending a formal invite through our Group Vice Chancellor's office, and Marut will look at it. So these are some of the things that we can specifically do with PACE, and we can talk about it in our discussions. We also do a lot of international funded projects, like under the New Colombo program with Australia. We have got the maximum number of Australian students. We do a lot of work with USAID, Erasmus Plus, also biggest partner of UCARI with the UK. This is a photograph of 26 UK students who are on campus in July this year for the India Immersion Program. So this India Immersion Program includes some lecture series, some lectures, classroom lectures, and some visits to industry, to academic institutions, and also to places of cultural interest and heritage. Like we take them to Taj, we take them to Jaipur, we take them to Old Delhi. We also take them to the malls that you have here, so you can juxtapose the two and see where we are coming from and where we have reached. We do ambassador lecture series, and you can see His Excellency Ambassador Eric Garcetti of the US. We got the Ambassador of Netherlands, Finland, and the British High Commissioner. We also do Nobel Laureate series. Basically, we have a lot of Nobel laureates who are associated with Amity. They come and spend time on campus, rub shoulders with the faculty and students, motivate them, and encourage them to pursue their dreams of being successful academicians and do well in their lives. So these are the 400 degrees that I mentioned in 60 disciplines. Of course, this is a busy slide, and this is just being flashed for your information. It's better seen on our website. Again, the list of those courses. Another project that we are very proud of is the Pan-African E-Network project. It was the brainchild of our ex and unfortunately late president. That is Dr. Abdul Kalam. He was a scientist and a visionary and also an educationist. So when he took over as the president, he decided to visit not US, not UK, not Europe or anywhere, but to Africa. And with him, he took with himself not industrialists, but educationists. And there he announced that he's going to give a gift to Africa, which they will remember for generations to come. And people thought that he's going to give millions of dollars, but he said no, but not a dollar to give. And there was silence as to what is he going to give. And he said, I will give you the gift of online education. At that point in time, Africa was not ready. They didn't have internet. They didn't have laptops and computers. So most of the people said, sorry, it is not possible to do this. But he was determined. He came back and he asked chancellors and vice chancellors of many universities in India, got them for a meeting. Everybody said it's not possible, but Amity said we will do it. And we partnered with Government of India. As a result, 53 countries from African Union have got benefited from this program, and 80,000 students have got benefited. As of now, also we've got 15,000 students from 37 African universities who are taking benefit of this program. When he took over, what was the date, Maruti Sharma? When he was, as soon as he took over as the president, I think this was anyone, bright students who, when did Google it, we'll get it. So, yeah, so it was the beginning of his tenure as the president. So, donator, okay. And there was a requirement of generating course curriculum online, which had to be in French. So there was another issue, which we another hurdle that we overcome, and we did that. So Amity is very closely involved with this project, and have been at the lead in taking this online education to Africa. 2004. So, but it must have started in a year or two. Yeah, E-Shiksha Bharati. E. Yeah. So, as part of the webinar series, we recently did new education policy, its implications on US universities, which was very well subscribed by Emroy, by University of Houston, Yale School of Management, and many others. We have international lecture series, which is also very well subscribed. We also do unique value addition to our learning. One of the things that we offer, every undergrad student has to take a foreign language, and we offer French, Japanese, German, Chinese, Spanish, Russian, and Arabic. You also hone their communication skills, behavioral sciences, human values, and we also give them some military and adventure training in our campus in Manesar in Gurugram. Amity is also doing skill and vocational training in electrical, electronics, healthcare, logistics, construction, manufacturing, and textiles. A word about Amity Innovation Incubator, which is a state-of-the-art incubator, which does hand-holding of our students who want to have startups, and it's a very successful model that is running. Research collaboration projects, I think it's actually world over. Very few countries are, at least all continents are covered, and most important countries and universities we are partnering with. I mentioned we produce some of the most employable graduates, and this is why we do it, because we have got very excellent, very good partnership and collaboration with industry. And we have Tata's who set shop here. There are other industry with whom we have got very close tie-ups, and they come on campus, students visit them, and that helps a great deal in their employability later. We also contribute in nation building in many ways. One of the ways is training personnel of the government of India. We've conducted training for 54,000 personnel from the armed forces, from state police, the Indian Foreign Service, Indian Administrative Service, public sector undertakings, public banks, everybody. The Amity Humanity Foundation is yet another thing that is very close to our founder's heart. Under this foundation, we adopt 2,000 underprivileged girl students and 1,000 underprivileged boy students every year, and see their education from kindergarten till postgrad. And it's very heartening to see them graduate, and then some of them come back as after they have got employment, and it's very heartening for us as well as for the students. So this is the future of Amity. As of now, we've got 11 universities. We aim to have 35 universities, that is one in every state and union territory of India, 100 campuses across the country, and overseas campuses as planned. Maybe as of now, we've got 17, we're looking at 50. So this is in a nutshell what Amity is all about. Thank you very much for your time. And again, once again, very warm welcome from on behalf of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan, and our chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan. I hope you're having a good time in India and in Amity. Thank you. So in India, education is a rule subject. It is state as well as center. So that's why if you open university, the state has to give approval. That's why 11 universities.
Thank you very much, sir, for setting the tone. I think it's now time for the introduction by the visiting guests. I would request you to please come on the dais. I give a little bit of a talk and maybe a short introduction as well. So over to you. Over to you, John.
Thank you very much. I'm a bit tall, so I don't know if this will. Can you hear me? It's okay. It works. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I ask forgiveness for tall, right? Thank you for having us, everyone, to the faculty and the senior administration, to the students. We felt the very warm welcome coming to campus as soon as we arrived, and we really appreciate that. I am John Melitiadis. I run a Center for Global Business Programs within the Lubin Business School and run a team there. But we have our colleagues from our finance department, Professor Viswanath and Professor Sachde from psychology as well, who's also a chair and on the board of trustees at our university. We are part of a delegation of our president, Marvin Krisloff, who sends his warm regards and his apologies for not being able to be here because we have a very tight agenda and several meetings. We have started in Mumbai a few days ago and are in Delhi now and are headed to Hyderabad in a couple of days. It's a strenuous trip, an arduous trip, but a one that's very worthwhile. I want to tell you my impressions of India first and foremost before I tell you about our university, our lovely university. I've been coming to India for 6 years, and I can tell you that I am thoroughly impressed, as you mentioned. Your graph is at least 45 degrees. It's probably higher than that, but I'm giving it a humble 45 degrees of incredible growth and trajectory. We notice it in your infrastructure right away when we get here. Every year seems to be more modern, updated, convenient, and incredible. We notice it in the universities that we visit, in their research, in their teaching, in their staffing, in their resources, etc. And we notice it in our own investments. I mean, I'm not going to fail to disclose that I've been investing in India myself personally for the last few years, and I put my son's money in India too. So that, yeah. He's only 3.5, but hopefully he'll be doing very well if India is doing very well, which I'm sure it will. So that gives you an idea of my faith, and generally in consumer staples, because I believe that the middle class is growing so rapidly, and of course you have your wealthy here as well. But it really warms our heart to see the people and the culture. And I said this in several meetings, and I mean it. The sense of family, which I hope never leaves you, and I don't think it will. It's ingrained. And the kindness and tolerance of the people. The U.S. is a democracy. I myself am from Greece, heritage-wise, and the birthplace, hopefully, everyone can agree to that about democracy. Started with an idea of people putting votes in a basket and became an inspiration. And the U.S. and India share that very deep belief in the people. Governance by the people. And so we are very pleased that India has taken such a leadership role and that India is a democracy in that leadership role. And that's very, very important to us as a university and also important to our government as well and to our people. So we're very pleased and to see you ascend. Our university, in a nutshell, we're a private university. We're a nonprofit university. So that means we don't distribute the funds that are left over. We invest in faculty, in students, in infrastructure, etc. We're run by a board. Mr. Sands runs the board. He's a board of trustees chair. Recently gave $25 million to us to open up a 7th school. We have, as I said, 7 schools. The Leuven School of Business is the school that I'm in. For the arts and sciences, where Professor Suchday is in. Health professions, a law school on a separate campus. We have a computer science and information school, school of education as well. So we have several schools. We are based in several campuses. We like to say 3 campuses. There's no main campus, but if you were to think of a main campus, it would be New York City because it's our most popular campus. Our New York City campus is very urban and beautiful. It's downtown, across the street from City Hall, where the mayor sits. We often see him right across the street. And right next to the Brooklyn Bridge, right 4 blocks away from Wall Street, where historic deals happen, where finance started it all there for New York City. We are known for finance in New York City, as you know, but increasingly also for technology. We have several neighborhoods around us, a diverse neighborhood. We have Chinatown a few steps away as well. Tribeca, where there are famous actors and all sorts of interesting people that we bump into, that we see. And not too far from anything at all. All the major train lines come to us. It's an incredible location. We encourage you and welcome you to our campus anytime you're in New York City. Please visit. Our Pleasantville campus is 45 minutes north of the city. It's a suburban campus like this on several acres with its own pond. I noticed some of your campuses had ponds as well. A diverse ecosystem there. At some point we had a farm with animals, etc. And it's serious sports facilities. American football, baseball, all sorts of men's and women's teams as well that compete very well. In fact, in one of the basketball games, we just beat St. John's, which we were very proud of as well. So we just got that news while we were coming over. So you bought the facility from St. John's. We beat St. John's. What is happening with St. John's? That's what we're No, we like St. John's. We like everyone. We like St. Yes. No, St. John's is fine. It's a fine institution. That's not. It was a joke. But we were proud to do it. It was just an exhibition game, but we were proud of that because they're such a good team. And so we are looking for several modes of collaboration. Amongst them are these twinning arrangements, double degrees, short-term programs, summer programs, either way. We have sent students, recently we sent students to IIM Shillong last summer, which is a great institution in a beautiful part of India. I've never been, but I hear wonderful things about it. We're looking for, customized programs either way, executive level programs, which we do as well. Exchange is always possible. I mean, we'd like to get more students out to India. It's sometimes tough to motivate them to go abroad. But progression agreements as well. Faculty research, and our professors are here and can speak more about that. We have several innovative programs coming up. On the graduate level, we're looking at fintech and other kinds of programs. Our Indian population is large for the business school and for the computer science school primarily. Our computer science dean, Jonathan Hill, is a good friend of ours and on delegation on another visit, but he runs incredible Indian programming as well. So we do celebrate, because of that population, several holidays, Indian holidays, Diwali and Holi and others on campus, where we have a critical mass of Indian students, and we love the fact that our American students are learning about it, some of them for the very first time. We have a very diverse student body on our campus, over 110 ethnicities, nationalities represented. In the business school, we have about 80. So America and PACE are noted for their diversity. We celebrate our diversity and, of course, are very, very tolerant and progressive, right? We have exciting initiatives going on at the university right now. There's a new building We have an urban campus that's several floors that has a dormitory, a cafeteria, a new library that are both 2 floors, a terrace, etc. And we just cut the ribbon before we came. So a lot of substantial investment. In fact, we've spent over $500 million and probably going to get to $750 million, which is a lot of money for a university, of any university, renovating, and everything looks incredibly beautiful with collaborative learning spaces for our students, new offices for our faculty and staff, new areas, arenas for conferences and spaces that are beautiful. We've opened up to the city in terms of our windows and and the architecture. So it's a very, very inviting space. Again, we invite you to come over anytime to see us. To understand the ethos of our students, we pride ourselves on opportunitas, which is a Latin word for opportunity. We live that motto. I believe in the students in that several of them are strivers, doers, and achievers. Many of them first generation students who come to us with the American dream. The American dream is not dead. It's harder to achieve, of course, and everyone's reading that because of the United States has reached a level of development which makes it harder and harder, but still an incredibly wealthy and powerful country with incredible opportunity. And that opportunity I've experienced firsthand from being the son of actually an illiterate taxi driver in the U.S. in New York, driving a yellow taxi that came over with $17 and made a good fortune for his family, but more than the fortune, which is modest to good. But he would tell me, always be better than me, always get educated, and he knew that. He knew that much because he's a very smart man, even though he was an uneducated man. So we believe in the power of education. We believe in the power of education to change lives and for betterment. And the potential in all the people that are in India, even the ones that we see that are very poor, their potential is there. There's nothing wrong with them. It's the opportunity to get there, right? And so that's an incredibly powerful thing. That's us in a nutshell, and we look forward to these discussions. We thank you for having us on your campus and for welcoming us in such a incredibly deep way and a welcoming way. We feel like we've known you for a while and we've just met you, so we appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you. My colleagues might want to make their own talk about what they do.
Thank you so much, John. I think it was really wonderful, very erudite, very humble. With this, we hand it over to you, Professor.
Yeah, I'm really glad that, John, that you went first. You did such a great job in presenting the university, and, everything that John said, I second absolutely. And since he's already covered a lot about the university and about PACE in general and the United States and India relations, so I won't touch on those. I just thought it would be useful for me and then Sajid to say a few words about ourselves and how I'll speak for myself. Yeah, how I see the relationship between Amity and other universities in India progressing with specifically with respect to PACE. And the finance department. So my name is P.V. Vishwanath. I'm professor of finance and graduate program chair also in that department at the Lubin School of Business. So I know more about the finance department and particularly about the graduate programs, but I know a little bit about the other disciplines in the Lubin School of Business as well. And actually, I must say that the different schools all work together. I've joined research projects with people in Dyson. This term I'm teaching a course jointly with the professor of political economy in the Dyson School. So we do a lot of things jointly. I also wanted to say that many of our faculty have connections with India in terms of course, many of us are of Indian origin. I'm from Bombay, but we also continue to have contact with Indian universities, both in terms of research and also we come here to teach off and on. I've been to India a couple of times for research purposes. I mean, I've come to India to do research many times, but twice during sabbaticals. I spent one of my sabbaticals at IGIDR in Mumbai, and once at NCIDS in Bhubaneswar. So my research with respect to India actually covers quite a large gamut. I work on Indian business groups, dividend policies, and other financial policies of Indian business groups. In Odisha, I worked in Malkangiri among the tribals, looked at their savings patterns, and more recently, I've been studying Sanskrit, and I work with Indian texts, Arthashastra, Manusmriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, etc., and look at various issues regarding to borrowing and lending and tax evasion, things like that in those texts. And I'm speaking about what I do because, I know more about what I do, but really it's not just me. Professor Gopalakrishna, who's the chair of a marketing department, also has research connections with people in Indian universities, and there are several others as well. So we have a continuing relationship already with India and Indian universities, both in terms of research, and I mentioned also teaching. Several of us have also come and taught here. I taught a course at IGIDR and also at NCIDS, and I know that Professor Gopalakrishna has also done the same. Specifically, in terms Admiral Bhatnagar mentioned several ways in which we could collaborate, and I was thinking some of the things that could happen very easily. We are already thinking of last May, I was at Mexico, and very likely we are discussing the details. Next term, one of our courses will be twinned. So a course in Mexico and my course in New York will be working, students will be working on a research project or a case, let's say, jointly. So that's something that can happen without students actually traveling. John mentioned how difficult it is sometimes for the students to actually go abroad. So this is something that can be done very easily. Research collaborations, I already mentioned that certainly can be done. I'll speak briefly about two programs, graduate programs that we have in the finance department, financial risk management MS and a fintech MS that is going to come on board next fall. So these are both STEM programs, and when Indian students come to the United States and study there, often it's useful to spend some time working in the US. So with STEM programs, it's possible to stay for a longer period of time. So those are things that we offer. Those are not the only STEM programs in the Lubin School of Business. There are STEM programs in digital marketing, marketing data analytics, and accounting analytics as well. So there's several other programs as well. So those are also opportunities, possibilities, perhaps take a little bit more work. But Admiral Bhatnagar mentioned the accreditations that you have. So it might be possible going forward to talk about progression agreements, maybe undergraduate students coming and studying at pace as well. So I think that there are a lot of opportunities, and I didn't know about new education policy, but we've heard about that in several places, and that seems to be a fantastic opportunity for us to integrate some of the programs with the education program that you have here. And I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of Amity and hearing more about it. And we'll be here for another hour at least. So, the time that we've already spent has been really very, very inspiring. And I look forward to a fruitful partnership going forward. Thanks.
Namaste. So thank you so much for having us here. I also grew up in India, in Mumbai, was born in Ahmedabad, grew up in Mumbai. And I have to say, I'm humbled when I see the beautiful achievements that the country has made. Amity is a perfect example of it. India has always been ahead in education with Nalanda and all of the other history that is there. And it's wonderful to see that, it is showing that advancement in leadership even today. So every time I do one of these visits, it's my second one for Pace University. But prior to that, with my former institution, I developed a lot of partnerships with India, and it was a real pleasure to interact with the educational sector in India, to see the advancement, to see the forward thinking. I'm a health psychologist by training, which is the intersection of psychology and medicine. And I started my career looking at things like anger, hostility, and heart disease. Actually, there is a real connection between it. It's not just a saying, with a lot of biomedical evidence to back it up. But more recently, a lot of my research has veered towards Indian psychology and spirituality and its interactions with biopsychosocial health. And in terms of what I do right now, I chair the psychology department. Even though it's a department, it's probably larger than some schools of psychology. We've got undergraduate programs, a very, very vibrant master's program, and we've got 3 doctoral programs in school child clinical psychology, which is a PsyD program and one of our most established programs in the university. It was, in fact, the first to get accredited by New York State as a combined school child clinical psychology program. And the other 2 are PhD programs in clinical health and in school psychology. In terms of collaborations, I think there are multiple avenues of collaboration. Most of our programs are very research intensive. And I know that India has recently introduced the required 4th year, or not required, but elective for optional 4th year, which requires experiential learning and research. And PACE is quite an expert in terms of experiential learning. It is the heart of what we do. So, kind of collaborating on that 4th year, there is possibility of research coils and, research collaborations between the 2 institutions. And of course, if there are students interested in our doctoral training, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say it's probably world-class doctoral training. In addition to that, of course, there are other master's, undergraduate, and doctoral programs at Dyson College of Arts and Sciences. We have a master's program in economics, master's program in biology. So there are multiple programs and avenues of exploration, and across the university, we've got excellent research training. So I'm not quite sure what else I can say, but I'm glad John and PB went before me because they've already set the backdrop. That leaves me with not much to do. And again, thank you. Thank you very, very much for having us here.
Thank you, esteemed guests, for these wonderful introductions. I think you've set the tone. The house is now open for discussions. I think we have representation from the business school, from psychology, from an online. So I would request all esteemed colleagues to please give their inputs on how we can take this forward.
Okay, but before we do that, thank you very much for the brief on Pace University and what you do and way we can collaborate in your inputs on what I had said. So I think there are multiple avenues that are already come out in the time that we have spent till now. And now when my colleagues who are here, they can give their inputs. and take it forward. One of the things that I didn't mention in the presentation is we do a study abroad program, which is a 5-week program for which students go to various destinations, which is one of them is New York, and we would like to collaborate with you on that as well. So various options there. We also do a 3-continent program in which also students do 3 months in India, then UK and US. So there again, they go to New York. So there is a possibility of interacting there as well. So with this, I'll request Dr. Meghna.
Thank you so much. Good morning and welcome to Amity University. It was absolute pleasure witnessing your presentation, and another thing to feel proud of, we are neighbors there in US as well. So since we are also there in New York and Oakdale, and it's so good to have somebody who's our neighbor there in US to welcome here in India also. So I'm a professor in the area of strategy and economics. My name is Meghna Sharma. The domain that I represent is management domain. The institute that I am from is Amity International Business School. So if we talk about the partnership, so there are multiple pathways through which the faculty and student, they collaborate with foreign university. So one pathway is, of course, the articulation program we talked about. Then study abroad program is another program. And then we have a very unique program, that is 3-continent program. So besides offering the traditional BBAs, MBAs and PhD program, we have few unique management programs. To name a few, we have business intelligence, data analytics. We have artificial intelligence, and that is in management. So today, when we talk about these programs, it's okay. People are offering it, but we offer this program 7 years back. So our 5 batches are already out in industry. So we have already tested the industry. We know what industry want, and accordingly we are offering to the industry. In the same program, we have articulation arrangement. So we have BBA international program where a good cohort of students who look for articulation and move for progression. So we have option 1+2 and 2+1 in BBA international who move out. Then, and of course, US being the favorite destination of them, they move to UK, they move to US, they go to Canada, they go to Australia, and so on and so forth. Then we have 3-continent, which we just shared. It's a very unique program wherein part of the program they do while being here in India. Then they move to UK and then to US and then Canada. So 3-continent means they cover the entire management program while being there in 3 continents. So US, of course, they move there, and we always say when student they move for study abroad programs, whichever university they are visiting, they becomes the ambassador of that university. So when they come back, so they talk about the university. So to start with, study abroad, we always say it's a low hanging fruit. So study abroad program is one of very unique option where students are there, they can visit and they can do. Then we have faculty collaboration, and we were very happy when you were talking about PhD, and that is our strength also, Amity being the research and innovation driven university. So research is our prime focus. And to take it forward, in US on 13th and 14th, Professor Maruth will be there. We are having a conference supported by IEEE and Springer. You'll be very happy to know we are the largest partner of Case Center, which is of UK-based Case Center. And Vicky Lester, the president of Case Center, is a very, very good friend of ours. And she personally visits all the conferences that we organize. So we are organizing first in UK, then we'll be moved to US. That is on 13th and 14th. Math, correct me if I'm wrong. 13th and 14th of May 2024. That is there in US. We'll be very happy to have a delegation of your university there, and maybe a partner session, or maybe a research paper, or maybe some collaborative session there. Another program that we have recently offered, because we are sensitive towards climate, and so are our students. So we have recently launched a program in climate change and green technology management. So that is towards the sustainability management. It is industry academia partnership model, which we just talk about, that industry collaboration. So supported by industry, And this is what we have offered to all our students. So these are few of the ways how we can start our partnership with. We can have joint papers, joint funded project. We have lots of faculty here in Amity University who are already working on government funded project. Not only here in India, whether it is UKD project or that is UK funded or Indo-Australian funded project. So we can definitely collaborate on that. There are multiple pathways we can, I think the academic team can sit together. I was very happy when Professor Vishnath was speaking, being a person from management domain and my PhD area is microfinance, so I could easily relate what you were talking about because I work on strategy and innovation aspect of finance. So that is very good. Like this, we can exchange our thoughts, we can collaborate, research, maybe student pathways. I'm looking forward for all the partnership. Thanks so much. Please, please, please. It's the business school. It's towards the green management. So we are calling it sustainability management. So we have BBA sustainability management, MBA sustainability management. We have a semi-government organization that is IIFCL here in India who's supporting this entire project. And the program, of course, we are offering management program as well as training to the industry. So ESG framework, we'll cover the entire framework in this. Yes. That is IEEE conference, and the exact theme we'll share. It is on technology and management, multidisciplinary approach supported by IEEE and also supported by Springer. So we'll be coming out with this series of Springer book on that. Of course, case center session will be there, wherein our student and faculty will be presenting their case study there. Pleasure. Yeah. Yeah.
On sustainability, we have a number of things going on now. Vulnerable areas. I think it's pretty loud. Yeah. Okay, so on sustainability, we have a number of initiatives. We're in an area in New York City that's actually below sea level. So last time the major hurricane hit over a decade ago now, Superstorm Sandy, you know, we had a situation where the water level almost reached the campus, and there are initiatives by the Army Corps of Engineers and others and projects and to create barriers to water. But also Governor's Island is just south of us, and there's a huge, they want to make that, and have made it already, a huge sustainability center. So our visitors, we take to Governor's Island to visit that trust that wants to be a model for the world. We also, as you know, have the United Nations nearby, and they have their sustainability goals and other initiatives that we interact with very closely, and of course do very in-depth tours in collaboration with them. So
absolutely, all 17 goals of SDGs gives us 17 opportunities.
Yes.
So that is the beauty of entire sustainability management, that we can have 17 different center of excellence, if we talk about it, and we are glad that you're already part of that.
Yes, and unfortunately, we have something in common. I mean, I saw the New York City skies turn orange. We were just speaking about that with the Canadian fires, that some were denying were climate change, but I've never seen that since I was a child and I grew up in New York. So, you know, we unfortunately all have that in common, but maybe we could all rally together because it is a global problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
Sustainability is something that cuts across the schools. Lubin School, we have, I was thinking about this, we have a, but also in Dyson, some of the initiatives that John spoke about are from Dyson, and it's also true in the Seidenberg school. So, you know, you're talking about in cutting across all 17 planning goals. So, yeah, and ESG, of course, also is something
which is the need of the hour. Everybody should know that. Very good. Thank you.
Actually, we have a very, very strong program in Dyson on environmental sciences. So, you know, and there is also a master's in public administration in Dyson. Both of those are extremely well-known programs and pretty highly rated. Great. And environmental law. We are number one in environmental law.
That's great.
Hi, good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Garima, and I'm heading International Collaboration for Engineering and Technology Department. We are having 5,500 plus students with engineering. We are running engineering in various disciplines, computer science, information technology. We are having civil engineering, mechanical engineering, as well as we are running specializations also, like your artificial intelligence and data science. Students are getting specializations, BTech degree, BTech honors degree in these fields. We are having MIT Center for Artificial Intelligence, Advanced Center for Excellence also. And our students are keen to do their major projects from your university because they are having one complete semester in which they have to complete their projects work. So students would be keen if they are going to get opportunity at your place for pursuing major project, and after that they can continue if they like the culture and everything, they can be ambassadors, those who are going to select their master's options from your university. Because we are offering this project work in 8th semester, that is the last semester for our BTech final degree, so they can pursue for masters. We are also keen to have a tie-up for 2+2 programs because we are running international programs as well. So 2 years at Amity and 2 years at your university, and so they can get the degree for from your university. But for that we have to do necessary course credit mapping that we both universities can do. We are running also 3 continent program for our BTech students. So this time also they will be in January in UK, and after that they will be in US in month of April. So around 17-18 students are coming over there because they are, are 3 continent students. So we want them to, they can go to your university, explore those universities, so they can make up their mind for further education from your place. So this is from my side, and in this way we can collaborate with Pace University. Thank you so much.
On the topic, I'm just passing around some facts about us. Pardon me. On the 2+2s and the twinning and all that, yeah, we're very interested in that. In addition to the 8th semester that you mentioned, and our MS programs have been very popular with
Yes.
international students and particularly with Indian students. We have several STEM programs, right? So the
Yeah, students are interested for STEM programs.
yeah, they can stay there for 3 years in financial risk management and PB's department, but others as well, mobile media, social media and mobile marketing and others. So analytics programs, et cetera. And we always put on
Business analytics is also in demand these days. So many engineering students want to pursue their career in business intelligence also.
yeah, we see that intersection between technology and business is really taking
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
So very marketable. They have very lucrative. The ones that are able to stay also, of course, you know, it's after the 3 years, it's really up to the student and the corporation that hires them or the entity that hires them for H-1B visas, the lottery and all that. But the ones that are able to stay to have incredibly lucrative careers, their salaries are very, very high. You know, for the master's level, we're talking about approaching $100,000. Employability from our schools is in the 90s, in the high 90s percentages lately. And of course, our economy has faced, ironically, a shortage of workers, which is odd, but we've had the baby boomers with COVID and everything kind of leave the workforce a little early, creating a surge all of a sudden.
Yeah, sure.
Just wanted to add to that. Professor Jonathan Hill, who is the dean of the Seidenberg School of Computer Science, is actually in India, but unfortunately wasn't able to come today. So he would have been very interested to hear what Professor Arima had to say. Would certainly, you know, let him know about it. We don't have an engineering school, but the Seidenberg School does cover, you know, you mentioned CS, IT, and AI. And actually, of course, AI you have everywhere now, but I mentioned the fintech program that we are going to start. We already have courses that use that talk about the applications of AI, data mining in business. We have a marketing course, and we're shortly going to have a course in the applications of AI data mining in finance. So some of your engineering students, you know, they might of course choose to continue on to a master's program in engineering or computer science, but they might also be interested in applied areas. So in that case, they might be interested in the MS in fintech that I mentioned, or the MS in financial risk management, which is also very attractive for people with an engineering background.
So, good afternoon and most welcome. And I'm so glad that one message has converted into this wonderful visit from your kind selves. It's great. In Amity, we believe in forever. So, I'm sure we're looking at a lot of collaborations which are happening. I'm Dr. Anupama, of course, and I am looking after I'm in the group vice chancellor's office, and I'm helping with the academic collaborations with various universities. I also look at the Europe territory also. I work with the study abroad team closely. And the first thing that comes to my mind is that when our students go to America, that is one of the places where Marut, who's the owner of the entire US territory, can look at collaborations. Also, there is this very big conference happening in US where we would like your representatives and paper presentations, academic collaborations that can happen. Also, I'm also teaching business intelligence and analytics. Hence, we can talk of some kind of, we have a very specialized apprenticeship program which is being launched. So, where the last semester is being done at either industry or at other universities for research. So, maybe Dr. Begna can discuss that program also. So I'm sure there are a lot of these options which are available to us, and we look forward to a very long term, a very fruitful and useful collaboration. Welcome again.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Varun, and I represent Global Grads, which is an initiative of Amity University. Specifically, if you talk about study abroad, then people call it 1+1 or 1+2 or 2+2. We call it 1+ forever in US because the student who's going there and who's going to complete his 12 months of full-time residential study is going to have an optional practical training for 1 year. And thankfully, if you have a STEM designated degree, then it's going to be 3 years. So the idea is, to see specifically for my division, we are speaking about the other programs. So the focus here is, that Amity acts as a pathway for the student. At the end, he goes there and gets a degree from there and lives his great American dream. Thank you.
Okay, so we've had some good points coming out from the faculty as well, and the interest that is shown by you is very encouraging. We look forward to moving ahead on all these points and see where we can actually translate this discussion into some action. But we would like to move fast on this. So maybe fortnightly or at least, if not that, at least monthly, we can have discussions on these points that we have noted down. So we will be sending you an email on which we will summarize these discussions and request you for your inputs. If you have anything more to add to it or want some things are not possible, so we fully understand. So we can move ahead on those lines. If there is any more points that you would like to add, please go ahead.
I think that covers a lot of ground. I mean, you can send the email to me, and I will liaise with our colleagues that are here and the colleagues that are not here, and we will be prompt. And I find that focusing in order of things that are likely to happen, and doing fewer things at the beginning is probably the best. Although we'd like to do all these things with you, obviously. But we want to remain realistic of your time and our time, right? And make sure that we get something done that's very accomplishable and notable. But we are incredibly pleased at this start because awareness is the beginning of everything.
Yeah, sure. I fully agree with you, and therefore we'll like to start with the low-hanging fruits, but have a roadmap. So which can be which is spread over maybe 2-3 years, maybe more, and we can see how we check the boxes as we go along.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sonia is the chair of the psychology department, and I'm not the chair, but I'm graduate program, so I can speak about the finance department. And we've already mentioned so many things that we in our departments can do. So I think it's really important that, when you send your information about all the other areas as well. And it's great because the MIT, as you mentioned, has covers the entire gamut, right? And so we'll make sure to let the other departments know, because I think a lot of the important, of course, articulation agreements, etc., have to be done at a higher level, but the important work has to be done at the departmental level. So looking forward.
Yeah, of course, like you said, MIT has got a lot of more, departments and faculty and everything that that can be, made to be present here, because we call ourselves MIT Universe. Because actually nobody knows the full thing that is happening around us. The other thing that I would like to highlight here is that we will be very happy to do this collaboration on a mutually beneficial level, and therefore we would request that while I fully get it that it is very difficult for an American student to want to go abroad and that to come to India, but that realization has to be given to them that what they will be getting into will only benefit them in the long run. And with that premise, we are now going ahead with most of the collaborations that we are having now. That we have students from foreign university also coming to India and to MIT for whatever duration is possible. And this is from the education policy, as which states in so many words, internationalization at home. And from that, our honorable founder president has started this program called the MIT Cross Border Education Program, which is to encourage students to come up from abroad to come and spend time in India and MIT.
Absolutely. We recognize the reciprocity element of this. And my center has raised from donors, generous donors, a few $1 million to give scholarships to students to go. And we've given out hundreds of scholarships to students to go all around the world. The students that I mentioned that we sent to IIM Shillong, I had given them scholarships for airfare and other kinds of incentives, because we do need to incentivize our students, because it isn't an inexpensive venture, even though, in general, I realize that housing here is much more affordable and food and everything else. But when our students work and all of that, we try to incentivize them to go and explore and to open up. And so there is a scholarship process. I have a committee. I'm the chair of a committee. We review applications of students and essays of motivation, and we screen them and GPA and everything else. And we give them a few $1,000s actually, which helps a long way with the airfare and expenses. So
what we can do is this.
So there's also, Dr. Viswanath reminded me of the travel courses. He's actually personally led certain courses here to India. And he's done microfinance and other topics that are of great interest. Yeah, a lot of similarities and commonalities, and taking students throughout India. And so it's usually a course that lasts about 10 days, faculty led, 2 professors, and about 10 to 20 students. And they've really benefited from that. So where they can't be semester-based exchange because of commitments, costs, etc., we rely on those kinds of travel courses. We've sent those travel courses all around the world. We've gone to Tanzania, Singapore, Malaysia, Argentina, and Chile, China. In previous days, hope to go back, India, but all over the world, and Europe as well. And you mentioned, cooperation with Europe. We have, incredible cooperation with many countries in Europe. France, EDEC Business School has been a partner of ours for, I'd say, 18 years, running every year, groups of students, etc. But Norway, BI Norwegian Business School, at least 11 years now running. We run a very serious marketing and management project. I had that up with our faculty and chairs of management and marketing, where they do entry projects into the American market. So lots of experience with this, of internationalization. I've been doing it for 19 years. I can't believe it. But a week ago, I closed my 19th year at the university. So a long time. Thank you.
Great. So I think what we can do is I'll share this presentation with you. It'll be easier for you to let your students know about Amity. Because the first thing is to know about it. Otherwise, they will not be encouraged to come. The other thing is that our students going there, which Dr. Meghna mentioned, would certainly request they could visit your university and they can then be your brand ambassadors here.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and we're a double ACSB school. I didn't mention that in my talks, which is very important and taking hold now. Also, we've spoken to some schools that are in the process. I know it's less popular in India, but it's becoming increasingly popular, spread throughout Europe as well. Europe is, that's what they talk about, triple crown, right, all the time. So that indicates there's a measure of quality there, and we have it for accounting and for the business school. So less than 2% of schools worldwide have that. And so that's a measure of quality in case students want to know what the quality of Pace University is. But it'd be wonderful to host students and to send students.
Thank you, everyone. With this, we come to the felicitations. I would request student ambassadors to please bring the guests, felicitations staff and all.
While the students are getting it, I must thank all the students. You're here in the midst of your examinations. And for you, I think it's a very good exposure. No, the cameras are here. Okay, I can go this side. Yeah. All right. Yeah, come. Okay. This should be a recall. Yeah. No. Okay, so this is you're getting bored, so this is for you.
Yes.
If you want. Yeah. With pleasure and honor.
So this is from my team. Thank you so much for coming.
We've come a long way, and we didn't.
Oh,
I
oh my God.
I hope it fits you, but it's a nice sculpture.
I hope. Very, very nice. Wherever it fits you, it will go. Very nice. Thank you so much.
And we have some notepad tips for the rest of the.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Absolutely.
We would have bought more of our suitcases.
I get it. So, I have been in the US for about 5 years, and I was the ambassador. I was with the ambassador there. So whenever delegations came from India, they would come with suitcases full of stuff. Especially I'm from the Navy, so my chief would come. He would come with so many gifts. And when the US chief visited India, he came with a small suitcase. I asked his attaché, what's she doing with this? He said, we just carry coins. So coins, I said, the rest that has been given to you, that is miniaturized. So it's easy to carry. It's easy to pack. So so
We're always looking for ideas.
yeah. So it's smart thing.
It'd be good if I got gold coins. That'd be.
Yes. Yeah, this is also being bonus students.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, click for you.
You have some of these for the back of your phone too.
Are we ready? You'll all have to look here now. Everyone? One, and there you go. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, maybe not one. And you can take one with my phone too, so but I know we'll share. No,
Give your number so I'll send you all the photos.
yeah, you'll just send it to me.
Everybody is in LinkedIn, so.
Maybe I'll open my WhatsApp and that'll.
Yeah.
It's 917. I think that's-
Oh, right now, sir.
No, it's not 91, it's 1917.
Okay.
It's my QR code, if you want to scan it. You got WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Yeah.